Hi there, my name is Vila Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So the question I have running through my head this morning is there a divide in fandom? Is fandom as divided as it appears to be? And the reason I'm thinking, as in Doctor Who fandom, all fandoms in general, now the reason I'm thinking about this is because I'm asking myself the wider question: is there a cultural divide across America and across the Western world? You know, is there this racial divide, which I'm sure we've all been talking about for the past week? And, you know, I don't think there is. Bottom line, I just don't think there is. I don't think anybody, well, I'm sure there must be some, but no significant number of people are in any way happy or on board with Mr. Floyd's death. I think most people are shocked and horrified by it, and do not want that to continue in any way, shape, or form. You know, but I believe there's also a number of really evil, malicious, disingenuous people who love strife, who love people, who love disagreement, who love divide, and will want to generate the appearance of there being this divide. I think that's happening in the greater world. I think that's happening in fandom as well, which is what we're going to be talking about in this video. But before we really get into these weighty matters, can I ask you guys, can you hit that subscribe button? That would be fantastic. Now, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to guarantee you that if you hit the subscribe button, there will be racial harmony and world peace. I'm not going to guarantee that, but there might. You never know. You never know. Give it a try. And listen, if you care about, racial harmony and world peace, just you can't hurt. Hit the subscribe button. And if you're hitting that, to make it doubly sure, hit the like button, hit the share button. All those things are fantastic. And I want to show you my appreciation for doing all those things. Firstly, my appreciation for just showing up and listening to me. me drivel along. Go to the video notes. There is an audio story you can download called "The Tomorrow People, the New Gods." This was produced by a company called Big Finish. They since lost the license for it, so you can't buy it anymore. So I'm sneakily putting them on my videos for you to download if they ever get the license back, which they're not going to. But if they ever get the license back, I really strongly recommend you tootling over to their website and buying yourself a digital copy. I mean, assuming you download it, listen to it, and enjoy it. You want to make it all kosher. Yeah, kosher, that makes it better. Also, if you subscribe, you get to enter any of my fantabulous weekly giveaways. Now, when I say fantabulous, the prize this week is a bit naff. I will admit that. You see, I have a stack of DVDs that I've also got on Blu-ray, which is where I get the prizes from, And I saw this one on top of the pile. Oh man, what a great movie that is! That's a fantastic movie. Everybody should have that in their collection. And then I went and I made that the prize this week, and then I remembered. That you can probably pick this up for like $1.99 in most charity shops. But assuming that you can't, I'm being a bit mean to myself. But assuming that you can't, this is the movie you need in your DVD collection. It is, of course, the original 2002 Spider-Man. And brilliant. If you haven't seen it for a while, this is a masterclass on superhero movies. And I think this is really what the movie that generated this superhero movie craze that that I think we've just finished now. I think that's over. But this was back when they made DVDs when they wanted them to be great. So the 2-disc set has got tons and tons of extra documentaries, and commentaries, and all kinds of things. Yeah, outtakes, gag reels. Everything you can basically want to know about this movie. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel and leave the hashtag webhead. Hashtag webhead. Fine. So let's talk about this. There's divide in culture and divide in fandom, which I think they're pretty much the same thing. So, the first thing that got me thinking about this was when Hugh Jackman of Wolverine fame, Hugh Jackman, fascinatingly, being the most manly and the most effeminate man in Hollywood all at the same time. He is like the big manly gruff Wolverine, but he's also does a lot of show tunes and dancing, and he's a very good dancer. Oh my gosh, I saw him dance once at a wall show. That man can move. Oh my god, he's like, so he's like just made out of liquid. He's so great. So anyway, so he posted this picture, from all these demonstrations and rides. And believe me, peaceful demonstrations, I'm so on board with. Peaceful demonstrations are great. Peaceful demonstrations are an expression of how fantastic our culture is. Because it's something, we take it for granted. It's something kind of new in human history that we can peacefully demonstrate. But but Hugh Jackman posted this picture, which I think is a beautiful picture. But it's verboten. You cannot have this response, because if you have this response, you are one of those evil, Yazis. So you're the evil nationalist socialists from Germany in 1930s, because this doesn't go counter of this goes counter to the narrative there is a racial divide, because what we see here is two people on opposing sides of this very, very, very emotional, fractured debate, seeing each other's humanity, seeing each other as people, seeing each other as not their causes, but human beings, and connecting. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I think this is the reality. I think this is why I don't think we have, I don't think we have so much of a divide. This is, I think, is the norm. This is, I think, is the is what our society is what the Western world is what is what America is. I really do. I really fundamentally do. And yet again, I'm not on board with this whole thing of labeling an entire community of people, an entire group of people on the actions of a few. I wasn't on board with it after 9/11, when people wanted to call all Muslims terrorists. I wasn't on board with it. I'm not on board with it now when everybody says, hey, everybody who's black is clearly, a looting, violent. Obviously not. And I'm not on board with it when they say every member of the police are intrinsically evil. I'm not on board with it at all. And because you know what? Because it's bullcrap. But there is one group of people on board with it, and here's how we're tying this into Doctor Who fandom, because they are evil, disingenuous people that do not want to see any peace or unity whatsoever. They see this picture and it makes them crazy, and that's exactly what happened. So Hugh Jackman posted this, and he got royally pillared, on social media for not having the correct response. That Black Lives Matter is supporting them unquestionably is the only correct response. And I'm going, as an aside, for Black Lives Matter to have any credibility, they need to follow the advice of John Boyega. John Boyega spoke beautifully and passionately in Hyde Park a few days ago, but he spoke to the absolute core of the issue, which is that for to be a functioning community, it needs to be made up of family units, which I think there's a large section of the African American world in America where that is not true. Where there is absentee fatherhood is rife and out of control. And again, just another tangent on this is, I do not think there's anything in the melatonin in your skin that makes you want to be an absentee father. I think it's more that community has been evilly targeted by the Democrats to make it financially beneficial to be an absentee father, financially beneficial to have a broken family, and I think they did that so they were to keep crime high. Keep the options for this community low, keep them far away from growth and affluence. Because again, all this stems from having stable family units. And I understand sometimes divorces happen, sometimes it's unavoidable. Stable families should be the norm and not the aberration. And when they are the aberration, you get skyrocketing crime and over policing and disproportionate incarcerations and deaths, which is exactly what we're seeing. So Black Lives Matter, I would say, for them to have any credibility, to use that hashtag, to call yourself a member of Black Lives Matter, you have to say Black Lives really matter. The life of this little black kid that I fathered matters more than what I want to do. The life of this little kid matters, and I'm going to stay, I'm going to get a job, and I'm going to raise him. And I'm going to show, not by my words, but from my example, how to be a good human being. And you do that, this will end. This will end in one generation. It all ends. And this is to have credibility. That's, I think, what Black Lives Matter really needs to do. And I think that's the one thing they really don't want to do. I will go so far and say I think the only people who really don't care about Black lives are Black Lives Matter. So anyway, Hugh Jackman got royally pillared. So back in our little tiny world of Doctor Who fandom, there's always been disagreements. There's always been rife disagreements in Doctor Who in any fandom, because it's made of fans, and fans love the objects of their fandom. Fans are fanatics, and they will fanatically fight about something. What? You love Time Lash? I hate Time Lash. You like Colin Baker? You like Sylvester McCoy? And we'll always be about it, and it's kind of fun. But at the end of it, we could all go have a drink together in the bar. We may disagree, but we all love Doctor Who. There's more that divides us than there's more that unites us than divides us. I should really edit that bit out. There's more that unites us than divides us. But that is a thing that evil, disingenuous, malicious people do not want to happen. Do not want us to think about. So I woke up this morning, and I saw this crazy back and forth on Twitter, where Twitter is a terrible place. Don't go to Twitter. Here's the thing: Twitter isn't real. People think it's real. It's not. And the people who live on Twitter, they're crazy. They're all crazy. So I woke up this morning and saw this back and forth on Twitter, how the crazy malicious people, for no reason, attacks people on the other side of the divide who happen to be friends of mine. And I think it just shows the insanity that they are where they are, and it really just clearly shows that these are a minority of evil, malicious, disingenuous people. So let's go and look at this back and forth. And of course, nobody try and contact anybody I'm going to talk about. Nobody do that, okay? Because they're crazy. And any contact you have with them that isn't complete agreement and support, they will call harassment, and they will come after you. And they don't expect any honesty or morality from these people, because they just don't have it at all. And again, I do not think this evil, disingenuous group represents the entirety of Jodie Whittaker fans. I do think they are startlingly over-representative of the fans. I really do, because I keep trying to have dialogue with fans of the era, and they immediately go to saying, you're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a misogynist, and they will never talk about the thing, just Doctor Who! They will always go, you hated Jodie from the beginning because you hate women! I'm like, what? Okay, why would I hate women? I mean, honestly, why would I be why would anybody feel uncomfortable in any way because somebody gets a prominent position and they happen to be female? I don't understand. Why would somebody be I don't get it. I don't get it. I do believe there's masculinity and femininity, and those two things are different, and I don't really believe gender is mutable for the vast majority. You have the small minority of people where clearly they do believe it's mutable, and again, whatever their belief is their belief. It's not for me to say they're right and wrong. I can just tell you what I personally believe, and in terms of that debate, I'll call anybody any gender name they want. Whatever makes them happy. I'm not going to use made up words. It's going to be sir, man, whatever. But whatever. I'm happy to gender anybody. Address anybody. What's that? Gives anybody the pronouns that they would like. Just all I ask for is them to be real words. Not there or here. Real words. That's really. I'm just trapped in that. In that insanity. Fine. So before we get into this, that's the wrong one. Before we get into this, I want to go into the what's going on inside their heads, just from what I think. So I think it's really important for them, for their worldview, that this era of Doctor Who, the Jodie Whittaker era of Doctor Who, was incredibly successful, because that told them that there was a war against a evil white male patriarchy, which they are then winning. That's of course a delusion. It's along with the things that the people who are oppressed in society, like women are intrinsically oppressed in society. It's just absolutely crazy. I understand crappy things happen to women and crappy things happen to men. Just and generally speaking, different crappy things happen to women that crappy things happen to men. But I think equally crappy things happen to everybody at all times. And it's the law of crappy things. It just happens. So anyway, I woke up this morning. I saw this like bizarre attack on Twitter against a couple of friends of mine. One day, I'm completely obsessed with, which is what we're really going to talk about. I think the whole thing is very indicative of the mentality of what's really going on. Fine. So it starts off. This one guy posts, "These hours are truth posting hours. Activists for human rights, my ass." I don't know what he means. I don't know what he means. I think it's great. But whatever he means, I don't know. So to that, somebody replied, "Why is it when a few unnecessary comments are made about white males, Boltrek will talk about it and make videos on it?" Oh, that's because he's a white male and he feels he's being personally attacked. And that's a message, a thing of importance to him. I would have thought. But now, an innocent black man has been killed by the U.S. police, and he has absolutely nothing to say. You see, this is strayed from the prescribed kosher responses. The only kosher response, according to these evil, crazy, disingenuous people on Twitter, is that you must say Black Lives Matter is great and support them in everything and nothing else. If you say anything else, you're one of those evil nationalist socialists from Germany, 1930s. So because it's not that he said anything and it was wrong, it's that he didn't say anything. Now his silence made him fail their purity test, which is something that only zealots, crazy people and zealots do. Does that not tell people something? He ends, it tells them, you're crazy! You're absolutely insane! That's what it tells them! It tells them you are absolutely out of your bloody mind! Okay, fine, so then this goes on a little bit. And my friend Noel goes and says, well, shut up, you're talking crap. I know, why you called my friend a racist? Because he didn't say anything. So this crazy person responds, nice response, but don't give a reason as to why you're not speaking up about the biggest human rights movement since the 60s. Well, actually, he is. I've been on many streams with him, and we talk about it extensively. And like every freaking other person in the world, we all condemn the death of George Floyd. We all condemn. No one's on board for it. He is speaking out, but because he's not screaming out about it on Twitter and saying Black Lives Matter, hashtag Black Lives Matter, he's now suspect. He has failed the purity test. Again, this is so indicative of the type of people who are generating this narrative that there is a divide in fandom. This is so indicative, and it's so much of a lie and so disingenuous. It just like we've been seeing with the rest of these protest riots, whatever you want to call them. Well, rant at somebody calling you out about it. Yeah, you calling him out about? Okay, firstly, you're wrong. He has said something about it. He just hasn't screamed about on Twitter about it. And now you're ranting because you call somebody a racist when he's not a racist. Again, well, I was actually going to give you another example. I think further on we see some more tweets that actually go into that in more detail. About somebody calling out about it and have a jab at an irrelevant topic. No, the irrelevant topic is you just... we're all Doctor Who fans, and you're Doctor Who fans, and that's why you attack us, because we don't like your Doctor Who, and your Doctor Who has failed. It's very important for your Doctor Who not to have failed, but it failed. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. It took a couple of years. It takes a couple of years, I think, for the viewing public to change their habits. They had in their minds that Doctor Who was it's fun eventually. They remembered David Tennant, they remembered Matt Smith. Now the Capaldi years did kind of alienate a bunch of people, but it was still kind of doing well. Cool. But then after a couple of years of Jodie, people just went and say, I don't like Doctor Who. We're talking about the normal audience. I don't like it. I don't like being preached at. I don't really like the Greta Thunberg and space thing. And I don't like, these stories are not interesting or entertaining. They've retrained the normie audience after David Tennant and Russell T Davies, trained the normie audience that Doctor Who wasn't something with wobbly sets, was something fun and adventure. Though Jodie Whittaker and Christian have retrained the general viewing public that this is a boring show that they don't want to watch, and these evil, disingenuous people are having an ongoing meltdown about it. You sure you're helping your cause, dumbass? Okay, yeah, well that works well, doesn't it? Fine. So there goes back to so you're the one always looking to excuse the doggy fiddler. So this is where we really get into how evil and malicious people are. They started a completely what's the word? A completely unsubstantiated rumor that Bolstrek, who they are obsessed with, which we're going to find out why in a minute, they are obsessed with, likes to have sex with dogs. Again, normally, and I hate to say this, when we're dealing with these type of people, whatever they scream about, whatever they accuse you of, 9 times out of 10, that's what they're into. I don't know if they like to have sex with dogs, but actually, I don't know if Bolstrex likes to as well, but I don't think he does. But yeah, I do think this is a disingenuous, malicious attack because you can't debate the person on the issues, which is kind of. And again, I wish I would find more Jodie fans that would be able to just talk about the era without like having a meltdown. But as yet I haven't, because I think they're this overrepresented by these evil, malicious people. Now again, I'm not going to say the entirety of fans of the current era, because that would be crazy, because I don't want to say entirety of any people or any one thing. Yeah, but I just see this is what I bang up against so often. So tell me, why haven't you or Bolstrek done anything to show your support for the Black Lives Matter movement? I'll tell you why I haven't done anything to show my support for Black Lives Matter. As I said, I don't think Black Lives Matter think that Black Lives Matter. I don't think they believe Black Lives Matter, the life of that little black child that you fathered, matters enough for you to give up what you want to do and you stay and you raise that kid yourself. I don't think they believe that. That's why I haven't shown the support for Black Lives Matter. While at the same time, I have my complete support for ending racism forever. And I think the way to end racism forever is to do the exact opposite of what Black Lives Matter is saying. But of course, if something bad is said about white males, neither you keep quiet. But again, when you're personally attacked, you respond. And I know they want to say, the attack on Floyd personally attacked me. So I'm just like, no, it didn't. It didn't. It didn't. It gave you an excuse to feel good about yourself. That's the bottom line. It gave you an excuse to feel good about yourself without having to do the work to feel good about yourself. Okay, you haven't any evidence of this. This is slander, my friend. This is Noel saying. You should really know the law before writing things that aren't true. Yeah, really, I think Bolstrek actually could probably sue them for defamation at this point, because that's clearly what it is. So finally, we find out why they are obsessed with Bolstrek, because they think with Bolstrek they have the ammunition to prove that anybody who doesn't like Jodie Whittaker is evil racist, which is what they all think. En masse. If you don't like the Jodie Whittaker era, it's because you hate women. That's really what they genuinely think. So here, of Bolstrek being a racist, Islamophobe, and sexist, lots believe me. So now they're going to deliver the case. 1, he made a review of season 11 talking about the genocide and how Islamic culture is completely incompatible with the Western world. So, this is a horrible, horrible truth that you're going to have to deal with. There are many aspects of Islamic culture which do directly clash with Western culture. The idea that LGBTQ rights, for example, they are non-existent in the Islamic world. In most Islamic countries, if you can be arrested for having sex. I get crazy, and I'm saying you get having sex with somebody of the same sex as you and be killed. That's something that's not compatible. The general rights of women. It's not really a done thing for women to walk out in the street without a hijab in the Islamic world. There is no plurality. There is no, there is no like individual, like the idea that it's the right and just and proper thing to kill somebody because they leave the religion of Islam. I will say that's another thing that's a clash with the. Now, all these things are factual. Now, something else you need to you need to process when you're dealing with all these factual things is, even though this culture has that, their culture is made up of human beings. The human beings, I believe, are all intrinsically good, apart from evil, malicious people like you. Okay, so first reason that first reason, which is your main one, is just gone. Okay, he just said a factual statement, which anybody who has any knowledge of this understands. So now we get into a bunch of weaker stuff, but that was really the only thing they had. Claimed Tosin Cole didn't experience racism. Again, listen, I've been called racist names lots of times by anti-Semitic racist names. But something that really shocked me, something that really genuinely shocked me was when John Boyega was giving his speech at Hyde Park. He said this thing. He said, "We all know when you were made to feel nothing because of your skin color." I was saying along those. I'm paraphrasing. And that never really occurred to me before. Now, yeah, sure. Thinking about it, I know there's shitty people in the world, and if they get into an argument with a black guy or a black woman, the N word will just come out, blah, because they have nothing else to do. Because just like these guys, blah, because when you lost an argument, you just don't want to lose. And yeah, that's terrible. But I've been called tons of racist names before. I really have. But every time it's happened, I've been like, oh, that guy's a terrible person. I've never thought, oh, I'm terrible, because I never thought they're right. But again, never occurred to me. But so I think what we're defining as racist, and also I think I'm going to need you to give citation about that, about what he's actually talking about. In what context did he not experience racism? But again, they're not going to give context, because then they might lose the argument, which is what they what they really care about. Number 3, annoyed that James Blake was written as a douchebag. Okay. Was James Blake? I don't know who James Blake is, but okay. So again, connect the dots for me. How does that make him a what do you call it again? A racist, Islamophobic, and sexist? Because he says James Blake was written as a douchebag. And again, can you give any citation? Right. The only thing you gave citation to was the first one, because you put in quotes. The rest of the stuff you are you're just like making it up. Said, okay, firstly, can't you spell? Said it's spelled S-A-I-D, not S-E-D. Margot Robbie's career was built on the male gaze. It was. I'm sorry. If she wasn't stunningly beautiful, she wouldn't be where she is now. It was. It's built on the male gaze. That's factual. I'm sorry about that. And when she did a movie saying it's going to be, I'm not going to give in to the male gaze. What happened? It flopped. It flopped completely. I think that's case closed. Didn't need to be a feminist because she's hot. Again, you need to give citation. When you put something in quotes, I can talk to it. 5 said Joe Martin was cast to bait and mock us. I don't know if she was. I don't know if she wasn't. I do think there was an element of that, when Marvel Comics announced New Warriors with Safe Space and Snowflake, which I believe was said to bait and mock the people in comics who love comics and didn't want to see it debased, to make some turgid, stupid political point. And then they cancelled that comic, by the way. So, I think there's certainly an element of that there, but he's giving his opinion. Again, connect the dots to me. How does that make him a racist, Islamophobe, sexist? 6, you see, like, everything's falling apart now. They had the first one, and that's why they're obsessed with it, because they feel they have something there. Had a tantrum over people of colour being in season 12 finale. I go, no, he didn't. Now, again, that's completely, that's a disingenuous lie. I think he like me, he doesn't like tokenism. And, he doesn't like it written in the skin, in script that, there was the girl falls and starts to regenerate and turns into a beautiful brown girl. I think that's intrinsically racist. I could go on. Yeah, I know you could, and you will. But here's the point. Here's the point. These people are disingenuous, malicious people who will apply the most malicious view of anything that anybody ever says to substantiate their unsubstantiated viewpoint. So let's go back to the initial question of the video. Is there a divide in Doctor Who fandom? And I don't think there is. I think there is a small group of malicious, evil people that have lost control. And now they're becoming more malicious and more evil. And not like they weren't malicious and evil to start with. They're the same people who were screaming about, "Oh, I love your man boy tears," and like to call you man babies while they're having tantrums. You know, I don't believe this makes up the majority of fandom. I think there is a tiny section of fandom. I think most fans, even fans that love the current era, fans that are not upset by the current era, I think we can disagree. I think we can have a pint together. And I don't think those people are evil. But I think anybody who thinks you're evil, you're intrinsically evil because you don't like the Jodie Whittaker era, is themselves evil. That's, again, opinion statement. And I think it's kind of a reasonable opinion. What do you guys think? My name is Fila Betkin, the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.